We have 10 acres of land in Liberia. The land is about 20 minutes away from Monrovia, which is the capital of Liberia. It's a beautiful place.
It's really not far from one of the main university hubs in Liberia. It's not far off the main road there.
Currently, we are constructing an elementary school. It's a very large building, and it will serve multi-purposes until you have an opportunity to build other buildings. Between the trench and the holes is the classroom.
We have 12 big classrooms on each side. We have offices for principal, vice principal, teacher lounge, and we have a computer lab, we have library, we have bathrooms, we have a huge auditorium.
And so it's a multi-purpose building. We will use it for so many things. The edifice alone will hold up 500 people.
It'll probably serve as a clinic for a short-term basis. We'll use it to house guests who come to town. We will use it for seminars, perhaps countrywide. It's a 20,000 square foot building. It has an auditorium. It'll seat over 400 people. It'll be very large. It'll be a significant contribution to our fellowship in Liberia.
We have a really good contractor, and it took us a while to find one, but the Lord led us to a real good man, and he's doing a fine job for us.
His name is Mr. Joseph Boti, who is our chief contractor, a very good man, very understanding. He knows our condition very well, so he's willing to work, and not money first, but work first. We got to know Joseph through a brother called Aaron Wega, who is the boss, so to speak, for Joseph Boti.
Aaron is a really impressive guy. He built a series of buildings that you could pray in and worship in. He gets no money for this. He just decided to build it. It was a $200,000 project. He just did it because he knew the Christians in his country needed it. And I think it says a lot about him, and gave us a lot of faith in working with him.
And I report to him, what we were doing, and we needed his help. And he offered to help, and truly he's helping, and he gave us a very fine man.
They've been a very great help to us. They're just doing some tremendous job for us.
So, when we got the property, it very quickly grew up and it became a jungle. We hired some great local workers to kind of deforest it, to take down some trees, to take down a lot of overgrown seasonal brush, and burn it down to the ground. And so we got this great platform, not quite a level platform, but a great canvas to do our work on.
You won't hear any power tools or power equipment. All the foundations were dug by hand. All the concrete was mixed and poured by hand.
Start from the foundation work, which is very expensive. Most of our money had to go into the foundation, because if you have a solid foundation, then you have a guaranteed billing.
Every bit of concrete that's been poured there was done by hand in wheelbarrows, and it's been dumped one wheelbarrow at a time.
Then we have to get the blocks, we have to get sand, getting sand maybe from like 30 miles away.
All the construction materials are trucked in.
We have problem with our roads, and not only just where we are doing our construction, but in most parts of Liberia. We up the hill, and so very difficult to get truck and stuff, extending the hill. Sometimes they get to the middle of the hill and they come right back down. So it's difficult to get materials up there, and that's our number one problem. And so you have to have men come, lay the blocks, do the foundation work, pour the concrete to make the concrete slab, which we call the floor, and then they begin to do the wall elevation.
The process is fairly slow, but it's been very consistent over the last few months.
It's truly a labor of love. The workers who work there, they live on the site. They don't go home every day. They provide security for it.
The thing with this building is very costly because it's a very big building. From the estimate we have in America and in Liberia, it came to like $300,000.
If we had the $300,000, we just continue. We finish, we dedicate the building, and then we get the ball rolling. But since we don't have the money, we have to do it in bits and pieces.
And they've been very patient with us as we provide funding for them. We don't have all this funding in a big pile over here that we can just send to them. We send it in kind of drips, a few thousand at a time. We would love to be able to not do our work in drips. We would love to be able to finish off that project. So the only thing that's holding us back is funding.